So I thought one of the best ways for us to get acquainted is for me to write a novel in front of you using this kind of stuff. Wait, who is that? That's Rat Boy. He's a pro at Minecraft. So this is my 7-year-old. He goes by Rat Boy on Minecraft on YouTube. He loves to play video games. Go watch his channel, Rat Boy Gaming. It is his channel. And if you want to throw him a like and throw him a subscribe. All right, so now let's get down to the business of writing. This is the Novel Factory, which is some software that you can go somewhere and buy on the internet. I have no affiliation with the Novel Factory. I'm not getting paid. They're not sponsoring. I love this as a sort of novel writing environment, and I thought, let's write one together. So, let's see.
Is it text?
No, this is the real video.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Hi, guys.
Yeah, come on over so they can see your face. You are so short. Where are you? There. This is Rat Boy. He's amazing. This is a brilliant child. You'll like him. He's good. All right, now I'm going to show them the software, okay? So dashing. He's very dashing. So I have not premeditated any of this in any way whatsoever. I'm going to try moving the microphone down here so I can type. Let's see. You should still be able to hear me, and hopefully it'll be less clankety-clankety. All right, so the very first thing to do is to write a premise. You click the little question mark. Can you see that if I pull that up? Nope, you cannot see that. That's bothersome. So it says it should be possible to express the premise or central idea for your story in a single sentence. The premise sentence is a bit like the question on an essay exam paper. You should keep referring back to it to make sure you're not wandering off the point. It will help keep you anchored and moving forward at the same time, helping to avoid meandering, wasteful scenes in chapters and time. Writing a single sentence summary of your story will also help you work out if you actually have a complete story idea or just a kernel of an idea that needs further development. If it turns out you do only have a kernel, it will help you turn it into something you can work with. So let's get started. Every story should contain all 5 of the major story elements, which are character, situation, objective, opponent, and disaster. All right. They're like, okay, pick a character, pick a situation. I like Earth in 2050 or medieval England or Hollywood current day. The character must have an objective. There must be an opponent. There must be a disaster. Okay, so let's come up with a character. So we can say a cross between La Femme Nikita and Anne of Green Gables. And what was the situation? This includes setting and external forces like Earth in 2050. In a fantasy jungle, which is basically the Amazon area, in what time period? Fake Renaissance era. I have no idea how to spell Renaissance without looking it up, so I'm just going to leave it there. That's a first draft of the word Renaissance. A cross between La Femme Nikita and Anne of Green Gables in a fantasy jungle, which is basically the Amazon area, and a fake Renaissance era. and the objective. Wants to become the master astronomer of the Queen's court. All right? And then there's an opponent, the conflict. Imprint the word conflict on your brain, they say. But she is opposed by another woman who is surrounded by allies who have a great deal of influence at court, and this biatch is also super good at astronomy. All right? And then disaster. This is like the odds part. It could be a loss of something, a threat to family, or a threat to the human race. Okay, we're gonna go with, but when aliens appear, can La Femme Nikita / Anne of Green Gables warn of the coming invasion before biatch befriends the aliens and turns them and allows them to take over humanity. All right, so Anne of Green Gables, aliens, invasion. All right, this is not a pithy premise, but it's the beginning of a thing. So let's read it from the beginning. A cross between La Femme Nikita and Anne of Green Gables, that's our protag, in a fantasy jungle, which is basically the Amazon area in a fake Renaissance era. I'm gonna have to do some research. Wants to become the master astronomer of the Queen's court, but she's opposed by another woman who is surrounded by allies who have a great deal of influence at court, and this biatch is also super good at astronomy. But when aliens appear, can La Femme Nikita / Anne of Green Gables warn of the coming invasion before biatch befriends the aliens and allows them to take over humanity? All right, good. I'm just gonna hope you could see that typing happening. And it looks like you could. So, Act 1, story skeleton. Oh, the universal storyline. So here they're doing hero's journey. Now we've got a basic premise, which means we've got the beginnings of a story. It's time to give it a few more bones and see how it starts to take shape. We will use the hero's journey. So Act 1, introduction to the hero's world, call to action, crossing the threshold. Okay, so we're going to do that in Act 1. In Act 1, introduction to the hero's world, you set the scene, introduce your character and their normal life just in time for them to be torn from it. Okay, introduction to the protagonist's world. We will write protag is studying for the test to become master astronomer sounds too much like school and less like courtly intrigue. So protag is sidling up to the queen by becoming her lady in waiting and boning up on astronomy as she goes. We see her hanging out with her friends, scheming and messing around as she plays with astronomy, as it is her deep passion. Okay, so Protag is sidling up to the queen by becoming her lady-in-waiting and boning up on astronomy as she goes. We see her hanging out with her friends, scheming and messing around as she plays with astronomy, as it is her deep passion. Okay, good. So that's done. Call to action. We've introduced the character in her normal life just in time for her to be torn from it. Actually, it's better if they're not torn, but have to commit to the decision themselves. In any case, the challenge is put forward. You can start building sympathy for your character by ensuring the decision is something the reader can identify with or respect. So I'm wondering, do the aliens come at the start of Act 2, or do I introduce the possibility of aliens here in crossing the threshold? I'm gonna put the aliens in. So call to action. Just as the selection for the next master astronomer is to be made, Protag sees something ominous in the night sky, possible aliens. Ooh, how will she assess and figure out how to deal with this threat while she is vying to become the next master astronomer against her foe antagonist? All right. So, Act 1. Protag is sidling up to the queen by becoming her lady-in-waiting and boning up on astronomy as she goes. We see her hanging out with her friends, scheming and messing around as she plays with astronomy, as it is her deep passion. Just as the selection for the next master astronomer is to be made, Protag sees something ominous in the night sky, possible aliens. How will she assess and figure out how to deal with this threat while she is vying to become the next master astronomer against her foe antagonist? Okay, good. So now we have crossing the threshold. In order to ensure your lead has the pressure on and therefore your readers are hooked into wondering how they'll ever get out of this mess, it's good if your hero crosses some kind of threshold that is difficult, if not impossible, to get back to normal life from. It may be a physical journey across land, the removal of allies, self-inflicted isolation, or becoming wanted and on the run. Oh, okay. So, crossing the threshold. When Protag discusses the possibility of an alien threat, not only does she not become the next master astronomer, antagonist does, she is discredited, and no one believes that the aliens are coming. But then the aliens contact Protag, and she visits their spaceship. Aha! That's a threshold. All right, I like it. All right, so Act 2, Mentor teaches the hero. Readers want to see a character develop into a real hero who can overcome the odds. Everybody needs help sometimes. Mentors in popular fiction include Dumbledore, Morpheus, Rafiki, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, Act 2. A sympathetic courtier, formerly a wise general, seeks Protag out and says he can bring her back into the court fold if she passes 3 tests. Okay. The mentor teaches the protagonist. The 3 tests will be 1, 2, and 3. Protag fails each test and then succeeds via try-fail cycles, and when she succeeds, but eventually succeeds. So we're on the way to like a false victory before the crisis. All right, so a mentor teaches the hero. First challenge, time to put your lead under pressure. It may be that they have a first encounter with the villain, or for a slower build, it could be the villain's cronies. All right, first challenge. Here we go. Protag learns that alien spies are about to infiltrate the court, taking over the bodies of low-level courtiers in order to learn how human society works and how to best destroy it. Can Protag prevent them from taking over the bodies of her friends? Oh yeah, because her friends would totally be low-level courtiers. The answer is no, she can't, and it's awful. All right, so in Act 1, we said Protag is sidling up to the queen by becoming her lady-in-waiting and boning up on astronomy as she goes. We see her hanging out with her friends, scheming and messing around as she plays with astronomy, as it is her deep passion. I hiccup a lot. You'll get used to it. Just as the selection for the next master astronomer is about to be made, Protag sees something ominous in the night sky, possible aliens. How will she assess and figure out how to deal with this threat while she is vying to become the next master astronomer against her foe, antagonist? When Protag discusses the possibility of an alien threat, not only does she not become the next master astronomer, antagonist does, she is discredited, and no one believes that the aliens are coming. But then, the aliens contact Protag, and she visits their spaceship. A sympathetic courtier, formerly a wise general, now we're in Act 2, seeks Protag out and says he can bring her back into the court fold if she passes 3 tests. The 3 tests will be 1, 2, and 3. Protag fails each test and then succeeds via try-fail cycles, but eventually succeeds. And Protag learns that alien spies are about to infiltrate the court, taking over the bodies of low-level courtiers in order to learn how human society works and how best to destroy it. Can Protag prevent them from taking over the bodies of, dun dun dun, her friends? The answer is no, she can't, and it's awful. Okay, so now we need a temptation. I can resist everything except temptation, said someone pithy. Add depth to your lead by giving them a challenge they have to find the strength of character to overcome. All right, so all we know about Protag is that they're a cross between Femme Nikita and Anne of Green Gables, and they want to be the next master astronomer, and they love astronomy, and they want to prevent the alien invasion. So we'll go to temptation, and we'll say the aliens offer Protag a chance to have her own spaceship and crew and fly around the universe, charting the stars and seeing the wonders of the universe. If only she will refrain from preventing them from destroying the human race. That's actually a pretty good temptation. Can you see how far we have come from like devising our premise? This is pretty rad. All right, now we need a dark moment. As you near the climax of your book, circumstances start piling up. Push your lead to the limits, to the point they are questioning everything they know and very nearly slip to the dark side. The closer they get to failing, the more nail-biting it will be. But in the end, they pull through, which leads them to Act 3, Final Battle. All right, so in Dark Moment, one of Protag's friends is executed for treason, which they committed under the influence of their alien. And the aliens show Protag her new spaceship and her friendly crew, and the master astronomer threatens to have Protag removed from port. The friendly courtier general mentor dies via alien hand, and one of the friends tries to forcibly remove the alien host and dies, and Protag goes on a test flight in the Gift spaceship. It is all so tempting, and it is all so sad. Okay. Wow, okay, so that's Act 2. So in Act 3, we have the final battle. The final battle! This is the climax of your story, and you must pull out all the stops to make it great. We'll work on this great detail later, looking at what makes a satisfying ending. So for now, you should just have a loose idea of whether your hero succeeds or fails. All right, so here we have this Protag who lives in a sort of mean-spirited human society, who loves the stars, who encounters aliens who want to abolish the human race, and in return for her cooperation are willing to give her her own crew and her own spaceship in order to chart the stars. So she's going to have to figure out, can she make a good stab at defeating these aliens before they get started? Is it a good idea to defeat these aliens? Maybe the world would be better off without humans in it, according to her experience. Would everything be better in terms of the future for all sentient beings if she just left and charted the stars and gained information for better races that are kinder? Or I don't know. I'm so tempted to have her take the spaceship and leave. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. Protag gives the master astronomer / antagonist a weapon that has the possibility of saving the human race. Then she bails, takes the spaceship, and goes into the stars. All right, so that's the return home. That's the final scene, right? So the final conflict is the aliens engage in full-out battle with the court. It's a grisly battle with many deaths on both sides. Finally, protag and antag have it out during the battle. In the end, it seems that both have lost. The human race will be destroyed. Protag will never get to see the stars. But then, okay. All right, so let me read each of the 3 acts to you as I've written them. So first I'll read the premise that I came up with, and then Act 1, so you can see how that premise evolved and changed and got developed. So we say, a cross between La Femme Nikita and Anne of Green Gables in a fantasy jungle, which is basically the Amazon area in a fake Renaissance era, wants to become the master astronomer of the Queen's court. But she is opposed by another woman who is surrounded by allies who have a great deal of influence at court. And this biatch is also super good at astronomy. But when aliens appear, can La Femme Nikita / Anne of Green Gables warn of the coming invasion before biatch befriends the aliens and allows them to take over humanity? Obviously, this is all changed, and I'll go back and refine that later. So here we have Act 1. Protag is sidling up to the Queen by becoming her lady-in-waiting and boning up on astronomy as she goes. We see her hanging out with her friends, scheming and messing around as she plays with astronomy, as it is her deep passion. Just as the selection for the next master astronomer is to be made, Protag sees something ominous in the night sky, possible aliens. How will she assess and figure out how to deal with this threat while she is vying to become the next master astronomer against her foe, antagonist? When Protag discusses the possibility of an alien threat, not only does she not become the next master astronomer, antagonist does, she is discredited, and no one believes that aliens are coming. But then, the aliens contact Protag, and she visits their spaceship. Now we're in Act 2. A sympathetic courtier, formerly a wise general, seeks Protag out and says he can bring her back into the court fold if she passes 3 tests. The 3 tests will be 1, 2, and 3. Protag fails each test, but eventually via a try-fail cycle succeeds. Protag learns that alien spies are about to infiltrate the court, taking over the bodies of low-level courtiers in order to learn how human society works and how to best destroy it. Can Protag prevent them from taking over the bodies of dun 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 her friends? And the answer is no, she can't, and it's awful to see them with their alien hosts in them. The aliens offer Protag a chance to have her own spaceship and crew and fly around the universe, charting the stars and seeing the wonders of the universe, if only she will refrain from preventing them from destroying the human race. One of Protag's friends is executed for treason, which they committed under the influence of their alien host, and the aliens show Protag her new spaceship and her friendly crew, and the master astronomer threatens to have Protag removed from court. The friendly courtier general mentor dies via alien hand, and one of the friends tries to forcibly remove her alien host, and she dies. And Protag goes on a test flight in the gifty spaceship, and it's all so tempting, and it is all so sad. Then, in Act 3, the aliens engage in full-out battle with the court. It is a grisly battle with many deaths on both sides. Finally, protag and antag have it out in the battle. Verbally, physically, I don't know. In the end, it seems that both have lost. The human race will be destroyed. Protag will never get to fly among the stars. But then, Protag gives the master astronomer antagonist a weapon that has a possibility of saving the human race. Then she bails, takes the spaceship, and goes into the stars. All right, so that's a story. Is it a good story? Maybe. Is it possibly a crap story? Maybe. All right, I'm saving this as authortube novel. Thank you for watching me as I have gone through this. It's been kind of a rush. I have enjoyed myself, and I will see you in the next video where we develop a synopsis.